Audiobook Academy Biography presents Julian Assange. Because of his work on WikiLeaks, the world was introduced to Julian Assange. Many high-profile organizations' databases were hacked by Julian Assange because of his brilliant IQ. From its inception in 2006 through his Person of the Year honor from Time magazine in 2010, Assange has worked tirelessly on WikiLeaks, an online platform dedicated to gathering and disseminating classified information. Assange was given political refuge by Ecuador in 2012 in order to escape being extradited to Sweden on sexual assault charges. The publication of tens of thousands of emails from Hillary Clinton and the Democratic National Committee by WikiLeaks in 2016 drew renewed attention to his work. Assange was prosecuted in the United States for breaking the Espionage Act after his asylum was revoked in April 2019. Childhood. On July 3, 1971, in Townsville, Queensland, Australia, Julian Assange was born. His mother, Christine, and his stepfather, Brett Assange, traveled much during Assange's formative years. The two of them collaborated on stage shows. A few years down the road, Brett Assange recalled Julian as a bright child who always battled for the underdog. After Brett and Christine's relationship broke down, Assange and his mother continued to live a nomadic lifestyle with their son Julian. When Assange was growing up, he attended a total of 37 different schools and was often homeschooled. The beginning of WikiLeaks. As a youth, Assange developed an interest in computers. His mother gave him his first computer when he was 16. He soon mastered the art of hacking into computer systems, and he was soon in demand. A break into Nortel's master terminal in 1991 landed him in hot water with the telecoms giant. Assange was accused of hacking more than 30 times in Australia, although he was merely fined for the damages he caused. Assange continues to work as a software developer and computer programmer. He's a bright guy who went to university and majored in mathematics at Melbourne University. To justify his departure from the university and his refusal to participate in military-related initiatives, Assange claimed that he had quit because of his moral convictions. Beginning in 2006, Julian Assange began building WikiLeaks as an online repository for sensitive information that would be made available to the public on a global scale. As a result of Sweden's stringent privacy rules at that time, the site was based in the country at the time. Towards the end of that year, WikiLeaks made public a U.S. military manual containing extensive information about the Guantanamo detention facility. Emails from then vice presidential candidate Sarah Palin were also leaked by WikiLeaks after they were obtained by the organization from an unnamed source in September 2008. Controversy over sexual assault. Assange found in early December 2010 that he had further legal issues to deal with. When he was first arrested in August, he was accused with 2 charges of sexual molestation, 1 case of illegal compulsion, and 1 count of rape by Swedish police. On December 6, Sweden issued a European arrest warrant for Assange, who surrendered to the London police. Ex-CIA contractor Julian Assange found out on November 2, 2011, that the High Court had rejected his appeal of the warrant for his arrest. Assange began preparations to take his case to the Supreme Court of the United Kingdom while he was out on bail. At the Ecuadorian embassy in London, political asylum is granted. To evade extradition to Sweden, Assange went to the Ecuadorian embassy in London in June 2012, according to a report in the New York Times of the time. According to the Times, Assange was granted political asylum by the Ecuadorian government in August of that year, making him vulnerable if he attempts to leave the embassy to proceed to an airport or train station from where he is protected from British arrest, but only on Ecuadorian soil. On the heels of that, the judgment raised the risk that Mr. Assange could face political persecution, further straining Ecuador-Britain relations, and sparked a reply from the Swedish government, according to the story. Prosecutors in Sweden dropped all but rape charges in August of this year because of statute of limitations issues. In 2020, the alleged rape charges will no longer be protected by the statute of limitations. It was recommended that Assange be released and compensated for his loss of liberty by a United Nations tribunal in February 2016. Both the Swedish and the British governments, however, dismissed those rulings as non-binding and reaffirmed that Assange would be imprisoned if he left the Ecuadorian embassy. Assange's rape investigation was dropped by Sweden on May 19, 2017. However, the path is far from done, he said to reporters at the Ecuadorian embassy in London, where he was speaking. The real war is just getting started, declared Winston Churchill. In December of last year, Assange was granted Ecuadorian citizenship, but his relationship with his adopted country quickly deteriorated. The good ties that the country maintains with the United Kingdom, the rest of the states of the European Union, and other nations were cited as a reason for cutting off his internet access in March 2018. WikiLeaks and Julian Assange returned to the headlines in the summer of 2016 when the 2016 U.S. presidential race narrowed down to Democrat Hillary Clinton and Republican Donald Trump, both of whom were running for president. It was in early July that WikiLeaks revealed more than 1,200 emails from Hillary Clinton's private email server as Secretary of State. Debbie Wasserman Schultz, DNC chairwoman, resigned after WikiLeaks revealed an additional set of emails from the Democratic National Committee that suggested an effort to damage Clinton's primary opponent, Bernie Sanders. Hillary Clinton campaign chair John Podesta's emails were released by WikiLeaks in October, including snippets from talks to Wall Street institutions. At this point, U.S. intelligence authorities had publicly stated their belief that Russian agents had hacked into the DNC servers and sent the information to WikiLeaks, despite Assange's repeated denials that this was the case, reports The Washington Post. A few days before the election, Julian Assange issued a statement stating that he had no personal intention to affect the outcome and that he had never received Trump campaign papers to publish. According to him, the real winner is the American public, which is better educated as a result of our work, regardless of the outcome of the 2016 U.S. presidential election. Election results were announced soon afterward, and Trump had won. Detention and criminal charges. He was arrested at the London embassy in April 2019 after Ecuador declared that Assange's refuge had been revoked. Later, Assange and former Army intelligence analyst Chelsea Manning were accused by the United States of plotting to breach a confidential Pentagon computer system. A federal judge sentenced Julian Assange on May 1 to 50 weeks in prison for failing to show up for court in 2012, when he was living in the Ecuadorian embassy. Indictments charging Assange with 17 counts of breaking the Espionage Act for obtaining and disclosing secret military and diplomatic secrets in 2010 brought him even more serious allegations on May 23. An arrest has prompted concerns about First Amendment safeguards and the possibility that investigative journalists may potentially face criminal penalties in light of the indictment. UK judges in January 2021 determined that WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange could not be extradited to the US to face charges of breaching the Espionage Act because Assange was a high danger of self-harm. Private life. Pamela Anderson was spotted at the Ecuadorian embassy in late 2016 and rumors of a relationship with Julian Assange began to circulate. "Julian is trying to free the world by teaching it," she subsequently said in an interview with People. "It's a love-hate relationship, but I'm grateful for it." Assange's documentary Risk, which premiered at the Cannes Film Festival in 2016, will be shown on Showtime in April 2017, updated with events surrounding the U.S. presidential election. Thank you for listening in Audiobook Academy. Don't forget to subscribe and smash that like button for more content like this. See you in next video.